So I was a fan of TED for a number of years, and when I had the opportunity to come over here today, I flew on a broomstick. I couldn't wait. Because I'd seen so many TED Talks that had talked about different ways that people had pushed the envelope and gone further and faster. But when I found out that the theme was Dare to Dream, I said, yeah, I'd like to share something with you. I'd like to share with you the secret that I learned a long time ago, which is what I call the secret to success. So how many of you want to be successful? Let me see your hands. Okay. So I have 3 ways you can become successful. I learned these a long time ago, and I'll share these with you. You have to be able to do 3 things. To be ready to lie, cheat, and steal. If you're willing to do that, I can show you a path. You're looking at me funny, right? I know this is a university and your professors are here. So there's nobody cheating here, right? And don't lie. We have something in our culture, or many cultures around the world, called a white lie. Does anybody know what a white lie is? The white lie is when you're 5 years old, like when I was, and the phone rings, and when you're 5, you want to answer the phone, don't you? It's just such an interesting device. So you're running over to the phone, and you're just that close, and your mom says, if that's your Aunt Martha, tell her I'm not here. Hello, Aunt Martha. Mom just told me to tell you she's not here. That's a white lie. For some reason, you're not going to die and go to hell if you tell a white lie. That's what they say anyway. But there, of course, there's the antithesis. There's the black side and there's the white side. So we're going to kind of push ourselves to the white side today. I remember when I was putting myself through school, and not on such a wonderful campus that I'm standing on today, and I had to work my way through school like so many of my colleagues. And I had so many different types of jobs. And they just weren't getting me enough satisfaction financially. So I finally took a job in sales. Now, if you don't have any sales background or sales training, and you're only getting paid commission, and you're putting yourself through school, bad idea. The problem is that if nobody's interested in what you have to say or what you have to sell, you make nothing. And so by my 3rd day, I was going through in my mind, every time I talked to someone about this product or service, I was waiting and hoping for one of my rich relatives to die. Don't feel bad, because I didn't have any rich relatives. So that wasn't going to save me. So the only thing that I could come up with, and this is, they say that necessity is the mother of invention. The only thing I could come up with was this strategy, which I'm going to share with you today, these 3 things. So when you're having to study from midnight till 4, and then get to your classes at 8, and then get out of your classes at 2, and then run to your job and do that until 10, you can get kind of tired, and life can become a cycle, and pretty soon gravity will start to take over your life, and when it comes time to get out of bed, you'll go, I really don't feel like it. Ever happen? Don't feel like getting out of bed? Ever happen? Okay, so rule number 1, lie. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You love getting out of bed. You love your job. You love your... No, I don't. You're a liar. I know, but get out of bed anyway. Today, we've learned that all the science fiction that some of us read about years and years ago is starting to come to life. Science fiction, ipso facto, is a lie. It's not true. Is it? I mean, has anybody actually met Luke Skywalker personally? Right. So I remember Star Trek being a popular show when I was a kid 22 million years ago. And they had this really cool thing. It was called a communicator. Thank you, Nokia. And this communicator, you'd open up, Kirk Enterprise. And it was just so amazing to me. Yet, I knew it was a dream, could never be reality, but we used to always play, communicator in the yard. But going back to the first part of the strategy, what I found out that we had to do, what I had to do, is I had to use a bulldozer. You know what a bulldozer is? That big machine that can plow snow or dirt or sand and get things out of the way. Now, do you know why you need a bulldozer? Because there's just so much bull out there. It's the things that hold you back, originate in your mind, and keep you down. They keep you nailed to the floor. So if I didn't start lying to myself and tell myself I was more successful than I was, I would pretty much stay in the same place. Gravity would dictate that. And it does so in so many people's lives today. And yet, through the spirit of humanity and inspiration and perspiration, are crossing our fingers about what we want to happen can actually come true. So, is lying really that bad? If you're telling a lie to yourself to get yourself motivated for a good reason. Yes or no? You see, it is when fiction, the reality that you would hope would happen, can be transformed through just thinking about it in a positive way. It's just simply reprogramming what you're doing. Augmented reality. You know, I saw space training films that were being used by NASA, and now the new Mars rover program, or the new Mars program, exploration program to India that just happened to just took off. Congratulations to India for that. But I noticed that they're using augmented reality to teach astronauts how to work and live in different environments before they're actually immersed in that reality. And years before, they used to have them watch videos. You know, they couldn't actually put their avatar into the video, but they would watch the video and kind of get the idea what it would be like to step onto the moon. But today, talking about things before they happen, believing them before they become reality, give us the opportunity to want more, ask for more, and to eventually be more and do more. To come up with amazing concepts and ideas that just absolutely would seem crazy. Not to people today. Imagine 40 years ago you're going to explain, yeah, I've got some friends of mine, they're building a space elevator. Yep, they're going to have this big pole in the sky, and they're going to tether it to an asteroid. And we're going to be able to haul things up into space for about 100 times less the price per kilo. Or what about a new way to get from San Francisco to Los Angeles at a tremendous savings, at a speed unheard of before? So sometimes the truth is not as important as what we believe, because we can then change the truth through that. And that, of course, doesn't come easy. It takes courage. Now, courage is two things. One, you know, I have a slide later on in my presentation. I'll show it. It's of Bolt. No Bolt? They say he's the richest man on the planet. The fastest man on the planet. And now the fastest and richest guy who runs. But do they know who the fastest guy really is? I don't. But I can tell you what. If there was a lion chasing me, I'd be gone. Courage is when your knees are shaken and you just take a step anyway. Sometimes because maybe you don't want to lie to yourself. But you can, and you do. And my next trick, cheating. How many of you have ever taken a test and been tempted to cheat? How many of you actually did cheat? Professors, close your eyes. I think cheating is cool. And I used to do it every single day. I loved it. The people I worked with, they were going, how do you get those results? Just comes naturally. But you're doing 10 times more than all of us combined. Yeah. Cheating. How did you cheat, Michael? Well, how did you do so good on that exam? Well, you remember, they said, read chapter 23? Yeah. I read chapter 23, 24, 25. I knew what was coming. I cheated. Cheating is an important part of success. People do it all the time. And there he is. It's called purpose, passion, and persistence. And through that everyday stick-to-itiveness, doing more than other people would normally, and then that gives you an opportunity to go from good to great because you're willing to do more. There's one guy here, he's Billy Corbin, Smashing Pumpkins. There's another guy, J.Tolan, he's a maestro of guitar. Practices 8 hours a day, and now he's stepping on watermelons. Because they're not giving up, they're giving it more. It's about going just a bit further than the extra mile, because I guess anybody could do that these days. But how far are you willing to go? And what's holding you back? And what's your excuse? Because when you run out of excuses, there's only one person to look into the mirror and face, and that's yourself. And you have a choice. Do you want things to be like they were yesterday? Or are you willing to do something today to make a difference and change that? And then what is that? The Sochi Olympics are coming up. Do you really think they went into a hat, go, yeah, we're going to give this to Dmitry Vazlagakov, number 23 lottery ticket owner. Very good. Gold medal for you, Perushka. My third trick is stealing. Like a thief in the night. Like a cat burglar. But of course, not stealing from other people, things without their permission. But taking from them the things that will put steel back into your character, back into your purpose, and back into the road to victory which you're seeking. Yeah, it is driven by courage, but sometimes courage is driven by necessity. That's okay. Whatever it takes to get you there. Because if you're not already got the formula, it's very simple. Lie, cheat, and steal. But never lie to other people. And never cheat others out of something. And never steal something from someone else. And yet, in the great film classic, Wizard of Oz, there's a character called the Cowardly Lion, and at the end of the film, okay, I know I blew it for you. He's given a medal of courage because he always wanted courage. And as soon as he got that medal on his chest, he felt powerful. So what medal would you like to wear today when you walk out of this hall? I'll give it to you. Or you can give it to yourself. You're not waiting for a magic moment, and you're not waiting for a lottery. You are waiting on you, and you just don't know it. It's how you perceive the theme today, how you perceive the reality to be, and be the reality that you live and that you have. The great boxer Muhammad Ali, he talked about he's going to fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. For him, there were no barriers, there were no obstacles. Last time I checked, his carbon-14 material came from planet Earth, did not have a pseudonym like Clark Kent or anyone else. He was a person just like us, but with a passion, with a purpose, and with persistence. He went on to do great things in his life. so can you. So can all of us. This wonderful word called disruption that has hit the telephone business and the internet business. So many businesses are now disrupted. Yay! But my message to you is it's time for you to practice disruptification for yourself. On you. Because you might be in your own way and not even know it. And my final point to you is this. I challenge you all to join me on a mission, if you're ready. The mission is that there is nothing impossible. There is nothing in your way. The only possibility is you, and that means you are going to join me on Mission I'm Possible. Thank you very much.